All right, so this video is going to cover Chapter 3 of Fundamentals of English Grammar, Future Time, and this is Lesson 1. This lesson will be about be going to and will to express future time. So to start off with, let's go ahead and look at what you already know. So in this one, should it be what will you do, what are you going to do, and what you're doing? The answer is going to be, are you going to do? And we'll talk about it. It's related to this word, plans. Sophie is going, is, or is going to. In this one, it should be is going to. She'll arrive, or arriving in about an hour. In this one, it should be arrive. We're going to review, or reviewing. In this one, it should be to review. The test will, is, are, or be very difficult. And the answer is B. So let's look first at chart 3-1. So be going to and will show that a verb will happen in the future, and they oftentimes have the same meaning. So if we look at these A and B, we'll see that they mean the same thing. I'm going to leave at 9 tomorrow morning, or I will leave at 9 tomorrow. So this, in both of these ones, what we're talking about is we're talking about a prediction for the future. There's some words that are often that can be connected to the future time. Words like today, tonight, this morning, or afternoon, or evening. These ones can be used for the present, the past, or the future as well. But it's for our purposes, it's important that we know they can be used for the future. So look at these examples. She isn't going to be in her office next week. She won't be back until the end of the month. She's going to visit her family in Peru. So the meaning is the same in these two sentences. The weather is going to be nice in Peru, and the weather will be nice in Peru. So oftentimes these have the same meaning, and we'll talk later here about when they have different. So be going to, let's talk about that one first and how it's formed. We'll notice that be going to is followed by the simple form of the verb. So here's some examples. It is going to snow again tomorrow. So in this one, the simple form of the verb is snow, not snows or snowing or snowed. They're going to celebrate his birthday tomorrow, right? Celebrate. He is going to be 80 years old. Her family is going to have a party. When we're making a question, we use be plus the subject plus going to, as in the examples. So be, am I going to go to the party? Is she going to go to the party? Are you going to go to the party? Notice again, we're still using the base form of the verb afterwards. So for negative statements, we add not after be, as in the examples. I'm not going to go to the party. He is not going to go to the party. And they are not going to go to the party. Now let's look at forms with will. They will be home next week. For negative statements, use will plus not or the contraction won't. So I will not be home next week, or I won't be home next week. For yes/no questions, begin with will. So look at the examples, or the example, will they be home next week? Right? We start off with will, then the subject, and then the verb. For short answers, use the subject plus will or won't. So will they be home next week? Yes, they will. Will you be at home? Will you be home next week? No, I won't. In spoken English, we often use reduced forms or contractions. Be going to sounds like gonna. Will is often contracted with pronouns or nouns like this: I'll, you'll, he'll, she'll, will. Okay. The important thing is that spoken English is really not appropriate sometimes for written English, especially formal academic English. So even though the pronunciation is going to be gonna, we never write it down in formal writing. So listen to this example. Come on, we're going to go to the party. Do not use gonna in formal writing, though. We use will in contractions in both spoken and written English. Will can be difficult to hear in contractions. The vowel can change and the contraction may sound very fast. So listen and repeat. I'll, she'll, he'll, will, you'll, they'll. Right? So if you notice that there's a difference in the pronunciation like this. This is she'll, not she'll. This is hill, like a hill that you climb, right? Will, right? Like not like well, will, you'll, not you-o, they'll, not they-o, right? The pronunciation can be different and can be a little bit. So in spoken English, will is often contracted with nouns. So listen to the examples. Bob will be here soon. The doctor will be here soon. But we don't contract will with nouns in writing. It's just in speech. So be going to and will mean the same thing when they're used for predictions about the future. Be going to, not will, is used for a prior plan or a plan made before the moment of speaking. Will, not be going to, is used for decisions the speaker makes at the moment of speaking. So when we talk about these, if we look at these ones, she's going to succeed because she works hard. She will succeed because she works hard. Both of these are predictions about the future. Predictions are things that we think are going to happen, but we don't have that much control over. So predictions can be things about the weather, right? We don't have any control about, but they can be about who is going to win a sports game we may not have any control of. And even if we're playing that sports game, we actually don't know that we're going to win. Plans are things that we have control over, right? They may or may not happen, but these are things that we can control. When you use will, we are still talking maybe a little bit about a plan of something that we do control, but the important thing is that the decision was made in the moment of speaking rather than prior to the moment of speaking. Let's take a look at some. So you're going to enjoy this great meal. You will enjoy this great meal. Both of these are predictions. They're not plans because you don't have any control over it. And it's not a plan that you made in the past or something that you decided right now. It's just a prediction. I made this food because we're going to have a party, right? Having a party, right, that you have to have a plan for that. And that plan would have been made in the past. So in this one, using will would be incorrect. I will help you wash the dishes. So this is a decision that is made in the present moment rather than a plan from the past or a prediction that I don't have any control or I have limited control over. So change the sentences from the past to the future. You're going to use will for 1 through 3 and use be going to for sentences 4 and 5. And you want to use contractions. Okay, remember gonna is not considered to be a contraction, right? Contractions have to have the apostrophes. So I made lunch is in the past. So in the future, we're going to use will. I'll make lunch. Okay. He washed the dishes. He'll wash the dishes. We didn't have class today. We won't have class today. And remember here, today can be the past, present, or future. Now we want to switch to be going to. They watched a movie. They're going to watch a movie. I didn't study for the test. I'm not going to study for the test. Okay. So let's look at these. We want to choose the correct verbs here. So should it be when you move or when are you going to move to your new apartment? The answer is going to be are going to move. I'm not sure the move-in date will be or is next Monday or Tuesday. Whoops, it gave both of these. This is not well written because it looks like you're choosing between Bill, be, and is, but really what you're choosing before is will be and is, right? The move-in date is next Monday or Tuesday, and we say that because it's a statement of fact, right? It's not a plan or a prediction about the future. The apartment manager is going to call me this afternoon with the exact date. So in this one, should it be are you going to or you're going to hire a moving company? And we look over here and we see that it's a question. So it's are going to. No, I'm going to do it myself. It's going to be no, I'm going to do it myself. So should it be that won't or that not going to be easy? You have a lot of furniture. Should it be I help you or I'll help you? So the answer is going to be that won't be easy and I'll help you because it's a decision made at the moment of speaking. Really? Thanks. So if we take a look at these pictures, you can go ahead and pause and ask, well, we're not doing this with partners, but you can come up with questions about the future based on these questions, based on these pictures. If you want more practice, you can do the exercises for charts 3-5 to 3-1 to 3-5.